The reason most new coaches fail is because they're too scared to even take action. Not enough confidence to put themselves out there. Oh, what are people going to say? Or are they going to judge me? Not willing to go the distance. They quit too early because they can't figure out the technology, or they don't understand the social media stuff, or it's their first time starting a business, or really they just don't have the strategy. So they're running around in just a bunch of different directions, and they don't have the clarity, they don't have the direction, they don't have the willpower to keep on going and knocking their head against the wall over and over and over again. And that's a problem, especially when you don't have guidance, especially when you don't have strategy that's going to allow you to, like, every step that you take, because we all don't have 24 hours a day. We all don't have, a lot of us have business, other obligations going on. I know when I started, I was working a job, so it's hard to do it when you got family, you got time, you got different things going on. But when you have that strategy, when you have that support system, when you have that step-by-step blueprint that allow you to go to the next level, and when you do that, then you can live the life you want to live. You can go and change the world. You can go and help anybody that's within your niche or outside of. You can go do the speaking engagements globally. You can go travel the world and work from anywhere in the world, or kick your feet up at home and relax with the kids, or do what you want and send your kids to the finest schools, right? So there is no right or wrong answer, but you gotta have a strategy to support. You gotta know what you're doing. Hello, my name is Terrell Jones. I am the founder of the Playbook, the Coach, and the Speaking Certification Program. And I'm really excited. I'm excited because you're embarking on a new journey. You're embarking on a journey where, you've either are just getting started and you're like, yo, I know I have something to give the world. Or maybe you've already been doing it, but you like, I know I need some tweaks. I know I need to get somebody else's perspective because something quite ain't right, with what I'm doing, how I got it set up, or maybe I'm not getting the people that I want to get or attract, or generating the sales or the revenue I want to generate. So I'm excited because I have an opportunity to really just help so many people. I've been in the game at this point in time doing this video about going on 8 years. I've impacted over 2.2 million people just over the last 2 years. I have, I do courses. I do live events where we have people come from throughout the country and internationally. They come out to our events. It's called the PCS Boot Camp. I'm blessed enough to be here making multiple six figures. I have hundreds of people who line up each and every month to have these conversations with me. And I can tell you that that's not where I started. I started literally from essentially a guy who didn't really know anything, right? I started off just trying to figure it out like everybody else. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York, and South Side, and I ain't know anybody that was making money, to be real. Like, I ain't know outside of drug dealers. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you came from that similar background as me, I mean, that, those are the flashy. So you kind of, sometimes that's, who you look up to, that's who you see that got the money. So that just happened to be my experience. And, but I was blessed enough to make it out of that environment. I ended up going to college. So college kid, right? And I lived a typical college life. Like, I was the guy that, yo, smoke the weed, yo, like, where the bottles at, Henny, let's do it. Ciroc boys. I was that, yo, bring the girls over my crib. So I'm painting a picture that everything I just shared with you was not like, this was something that was predestined for me. Right. I joined the fraternity. So I did all these things, and I was literally, in terms of my trajectory, I was literally just going through like the typical route, right? Where, you go to school, you get a job, you retire. And so I graduated with my bachelor's and my master's degree. My bachelor's is in engineering, my master's degree in project management. So I got a corporate job, and I was making good money, right? So it's one thing to get a job, it's another thing when you got a job, you're making good money. And so I was all right. Like, I was not too far away from like hitting 200K in just my corporate job. So when you talk about feeling comfortable, you ain't got to go nowhere. That's where I was at. But I knew, I'm like, because I was doing like cybersecurity, and I was like, you know what? There's something, I mean, I'm good at it. It's okay. But I'm like, I don't necessarily feel like this is my ultimate purpose. So I was starting to feel this unrest, and I wanted to give back. I wanted to help people. And as I started noticing, I realized that over the years that I kept having my friends come up to me and just asking me for advice. Maybe you've experienced the same thing. And at the time it was really, yo, what do I need to do to get into, the job, into the job I want to get into after college? How do I graduate? So I said, you know what? I should coach people. I should maybe speak and kind of help people. So that's where I really started. I started with coaching college students to get through the college process, enjoy it, because I did, and then also graduate and get into their career field because they spending tens of thousands of dollars. And when I jumped in, I was like everybody else, excited, like, all right, I clearly have value, but I'm limiting my impact in the world because I don't know the business side of it. There should have been way more people on this webinar. I should be helping more people. I should have more clients. I should be serving more people. And it was in that moment that I said, I have to figure out the business side of it. I'm not willing to settle for this anymore. I got to figure it out. And that's when I went on I just went on like just a binge trying to like look for coaches, look for help, look for trainers. And long story short, I came across some folks that I trusted. I came across, some handful of people, right? And what happened is I started getting the coaches and I started getting the right training and things started clicking for me. I literally went from 0 to 6 figures. Like, and it leveled up. It wasn't like from 0 to 10 immediately, but it went from like, it was like, I went from like a few hundred to a few thousand. Then I went to 6 figures and then multiple 6 figures. And it happened. And it didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. Once I actually started getting the help, it could take a long time trying to do it by yourself for a long time. But for me, once I got the help, it was literally within a few years that I was already at 6 figures, right? So everybody's journey is different, but that was literally, what was my story and how I was able to, make things happen. So let me share with you some of the things that, just some of the recent results. I'm big on receipts, right? Everybody took a big game online and on the internet, and sometimes you don't know who to trust, who can't. Listen, I'm always upfront. I'm always honest. What I can help you with is what I can help you with. What I can't is what I can't. And I know my journey, I'm going to continue to grow and continue to get better. My brand is going to grow. My knowledge is going to grow. So I'm going to just be super straightforward and just transparent. So, like the results of who you learning from. And this is where I'm at this point in time, right? You see where it says opt-ins, right? So this is in the last 30 days. These are the opt-ins received in 30 days. For that's 341 new leads. A lot of times when I speak to new folks, I ask them, well, how many appointments or how many leads have you brought in, in the last month? And usually I get a super, super low number. I brought in 341 new leads in the last month, right? So these are people who are qualified that are like, they raised their hand and said, listen, I want some help. Okay. So you probably get some of those folks actually become clients, right? If you get 341, and then those are just comments, and those are just comments from my program. So let's talk money, right? So where am I at today? So just in a 4-month time span, I went from 83K, right? Just in 4 months. Most folks don't make 83,000 in an entire year. Most people start businesses, don't even make a profit until year 5, right? So we had 83K in just the first 4 months of the year. Okay, so that's where we're at, and it's continuing to grow and continuing to make we continue to grow on that front. All right, so let's get it in, right? So that's about me. That's what I've got and achieved. Now, let me share with you what is the system that's allowing all of this to be possible. All right, so I'm gonna show you specifically how to create a successful coaching business. Executive offer package. And this is a diamond, right? So in this diamond, the very first thing is an executive offer package. Coach T, what do you mean by that? You got to specifically have an offer. You got to know what your offer is. You got to know what people are getting. You got to know what the deliverables look like. You have to know what the pricing looks like. And you got to have it set up and structured. You don't want to just go out here and just start helping people willy-nilly without having your program in place, without having, can you even send an invoice? You feel what I'm saying? Like, are you still charging hourly? I'm telling you this. If you work with me, we don't do hourly, right? If you want to get paid hourly, you could go work at a 9 to 5. For starting from today, you no longer charge hourly. We make money based on the value that we provide. That is how we determine what our price is. It's based on value. It's not based on hourly. And that is how you're going to be able to hit the 6 figures that you want to make in our industry is going to be through a more longer extended package that is going to allow people, that's going to allow you to generate more revenue in a shorter period of time. All right. And I'll go ahead and do. All right. Boom. All right. So that's that. All right. All right. Let's see. Boom. There we go. All right. So that is that. Now, that's the first thing we got to get straight is your package, is your offer, is what you're doing. Now, once you get clear on what you got, what you have, and people can actually buy it from you, now we can start looking at a content system. Keyword is system. Majority of coaches that I see out there, they just out here just doing things all willy-nilly, and they don't have any strategy. Somebody told them that they should just put out content, so they just out here just pulling out content. 9 times out of 10, they're not consistent with the content, and then when they are consistent with it, they have no strategy behind why they're even posting the content. They just know they're supposed to be posting something, right? And then on top of that, a lot of times it's not even valuable because they're afraid to put out their best content because they feel like they have nothing to offer if they give it. You feel what I'm saying? So, you never want to be in that position where, you're either a quote unquote perfectionist, right? Because if you're true perfectionist, then you'll actually put out your products, your services, and your content into the world, because the only way you can truly perfect something is if you have the perspective and you have the feedback of your audience. So you can never truly even be a perfectionist if that was something that you wanted to be, because only your clients or your audience can make something better. It's not all going to come from your own head. That's arrogant, right? And it's selfish if you don't put your stuff into the world. So that's that. Now you got to be very strategic in terms of how you put out content. So I'll share with you specifically what that actually looks like, but you got to really be able to not just put out stuff and rush it because you don't have time or you're about to go to work. Is you really got to be strategic in terms of your messaging. You got to be strategic in terms of how you put it out, where you put it out, the platforms you put it out, the purpose of it, the specific wording and messaging inside of the content that it's very strategic. All right. There's an art and science to it.